Chase Lehigh with the Blue Futon. Out of the Netflix world, we have another Indian movie called Nayattu. I'm probably saying that completely wrong. Nayattu. Will these cops make it out alive? Did they do anything wrong? Let's find out. So Nayattu, what's about? It's a very simple premise actually, but is it? We have cops, we have politicians, we have caste systems, we have a murder, if you want to call it that way. It's more of an accidental murder, but these three cops were driving down a road with someone else driving that wasn't drunk. They hit a person that's part of this one gang that these cops and gangs just aren't getting along. However, now these three cops have to be on the run because that one driver runs away, and now this political system, this new police force are on their tails. Will they be caught? Let's talk about this movie. So did I like this movie? I thought it was a very, very smart cat and mouse chase movie that did not overstay its welcome. With Indian movies, sometimes you get to the 2.5 hours, you're like, okay, it's time to go, I got things to do. But this one is roughly 2 hours, so it's pretty fast paced, and when the cat and mouse chase happens, it is zoom zoom. Are they going to get caught or not? So with that, we'll talk about the negatives of the movie first. I guess with me and not knowing the Indian political system, the Indian caste system, and everything like that, I didn't know that everything could be this political with elections and everything like that. Yeah, politics are around the world completely everywhere, but with these type of movies and movies in like in America, South Korea, Japan, and stuff like that, it feels like the Indian movies have a lot more of a political message to more of the serious movies, as well as just police force, politicians, elections, corruption, all just sandwiched into one movie. So in watching this, I was a little bit confused about who these gangs were, like spitting on the wall. What did they actually play into it? I think they were just part of a caste system, which this politician needed their votes. They didn't want to piss them off, if I understood correctly. Of course, when this one person died, of course, that's when the whole cat and mouse chase happens, because you know what? They need the votes, so they need to catch these cops. And even though I talked about the runtime being about 2 hours, I do think this could have been an extra 5 to 7 minutes just to talk about these three cops' backstories. I know one of them is about a mother, one of them with the sister, as well as this gang that's kind of part of this sister, as well as the main older cop that talks about a daughter that was in this village. So I do wish that was a little bit more fleshed out about knowing this daughter, because I think like that storyline was the most predominant of everything happening. And this is a movie that you will probably not like the ending. And finally, the last negative could be the ending for some people, just because it ain't one of those like, yes, we get a resolution and everything is good to go and yeah. This is more of like, yeah, this shit would probably go down like this because more people in today's day and age are about themselves than doing the right thing. It's in the world right now where it's more of like me culture, and I gotta do it to keep my ass safe and my headspace clear so I can continue on the ladder. But, you know, some people do have the integrity to say, nope, this shit wrong. And even though you could applaud that, some people will not like the ending because of that. I know that sounds like a weird negative, but when the credits were rolling, it did feel like, man, I just wish I felt a little bit better after this movie. So there was that. Other than those small negatives, I thought the directing, the cinematography, the acting, the writing, and the actual atmosphere of what was happening was really, really predominant that showed this part of the world. And I do think it was the right message as well. Because when you have those messages, like I was saying, it could be a negative, but the more I think about the ending, it's more of a positive ending of like, you know what, some people actually have integrity, and maybe some people will stand up, especially that one lady cop for the special force, to realize, am I doing what's right, or am I willing just to shut up and color? And it makes you think, like, are they going to do that? And I think movies that make you think about the characters and what they are going to do is a very positive motive to continue watching these type of movies. So apparently this director has done a lot of other good movies, which I might have to look into, because apparently on Rotten Tomato, I did take a peek at some of the positives, and it said this director keeps doing strong films. So let me look at his filmography, and I'll continue watching his type of stories because they're grounded in reality. It is for the Indian audience for sure to understand the caste system, the political system, the election system. And me being an outsider, even though I was a little bit confused of like, I think I could see the dots connecting. It still made sense to me. And even though, like I said, it can be confusing, at the end of the day, I understood what was happening. So thank God that I understood from point A to point B. I was like, oh no, am I actually going to see point B? And I do think, even though it was a little bit of a zigzag of me, connecting the dots, it was a solid connecting the dots movie, or more of a solid cat and mouse chase movie. So like I said, overall, it's a great movie. Acting, directing, cinematography, the actual realism of it, the grounded, rooted style of movie. Negatives, you could say, are, the ending. Some people might not like it. I wish there was a little bit more backstory for some of the characters, as well as, like I said, you might be a little bit confused throughout the story, but when you reach the ending, you should understand what is happening. So if you're watching this movie and you're like, I don't know what's happening, stick with it. You will understand it. So Nayattu, if I'm saying that right, will receive a 4 out of 5 blue futons, which equals that 80%. So see, the critics news scores gave this one. So the critics a 100% with 6 of them. Audience score 100% with fewer than 50. But the critics down below are a 8 out of 10, a 3.5 out of 5, a 3.5 out of 5, and a 4 out of 5. So mostly in that 70s and 80s with my 80. But like when I look at this political movie with cops and I look at Article 15, I think Article 15 is a little bit better movie, and I just enjoyed that premise a little bit better. But anyway, they're both great movies. Watch them if you're into Indian cinema, or you just want to step your foot into the more rooted stuff, unlike RRR, KGF, and stuff like that. So anyway, hundreds or 80, Chase Talk with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about Utopia. You Blue Futonians, thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'm sorry that there's going to be a lot of jump cuts in this one. I think I ate rotten meat, and my stomach is grody right now. It's super grody.